Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sharaglas. I'm Miriam. I'm the Afghan who cooks, and today we have a very special guest, Ahmad, who is the
Moroccan cook.
Ooh, he is the Moroccan cook. And today, for our very special Ramadan series, we are making, what are we making?
Moroccan Harira.
Moroccan Harira, which is a soup, and it's made with
Tomato and all the ingredients that you're gonna discover.
He's not going to tell you right now.
I'm not gonna tell you the secret.
Let's go make it. Just cut them quickly, remove the
yeah.
center, and then just cut them really quick. Okay?
Oh my
Such
God,
the
you ruined the
juiciest-
tomato. And this is cleaner.
Look
Look.
at that, look at that, look at that. Okay, so go ahead, cut that. Cut the tomatoes. I'm really impressed with your
Kills.
skills, yeah. Now, harira, how do you pronounce it? Harira? Harira?
So in Arabic is Harira.
Harira.
We
And
add-
what does the word mean? Or is it just the name of this?
So if I know exactly, Harira is coming from a word mixing.
Okay, so that's what we're making right now,
Yes.
right? We're making
The Moroccan Harira.
the Moroccan Harira. And this is particular to your family. This is how your family makes it.
Yes.
And I know this because he just called his aunt on the phone because we had been watching some videos of people making harira.
Yes.
And I was like, that doesn't look good, right? Whatever. So he called his aunt. They talked to each other in Arabic. And so this is actually, it is genuinely their family's recipe. I can vouch for that.
Yes.
It's
Shout
not
out to
just some-
my aunt Saida.
Yeah, shout out to his aunt. So we also have
One onion.
one onion.
This is my way how to cut the onion.
Okay, show me how you cut an onion.
So I know you're gonna cry, or
I'm gonna go move away then if you're gonna cry. We're gonna put it right in the.
Yes.
Okay.
Gonna cut it small pieces.
And I'm gonna. My job now is to clean up after you.
Thank you.
So for those of you who don't know, I have a cookbook that will be coming out inshallah in just a few months. And Ahmad Fariss is our photographer. He's one of our on our photography team. He's the lead photographer of the book. And the pictures are wow. Now I know this is not how your family would do it. So please, nobody give Ahmad a hard time. Go ahead, pour it in there.
I'm respecting it. My family, I'm sorry for this, but we're gonna use diced tomatoes
In a can.
in a can.
All right, now you're gonna add the water.
So for now, we're gonna just blend it.
Okay, go ahead. Blend it up.
So forgive me about this. I never used a blender.
I think you can handle it.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Please don't laugh. My family, please forgive me.
I told you we could use a blender.
I'm gonna use regular blender now. Thank you, technology. I prefer using this.
I can't even see it.
You see, this is easy.
So much easier.
Easy.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
So now we can add the puree to our pot. And that's ginger powder. That's 1 teaspoon of ginger powder.
Perfect. And what I learned, it also depends on the taste. So if you want to feel like the ginger flavor, you can add more.
Okay, but you like it light ginger.
For me, I like less ginger.
Okay, light ginger for you.
Yes.
Okay. And then we also have salt
Yes.
and pepper. So not a very heavily spiced dish, which for Ramadan is good, right?
Yeah.
Because this is something that you have a lot in Ramadan.
Oh, we use it like every day.
Every
at the
day.
table.
But so it's really nice because it has a lot of nutrition, but
Yes.
not a lot of spices. And ginger is so good for your digestion too. After a whole day of fasting, to have ginger.
Yeah, but I don't like it strong flavor.
Yeah.
My taste, but we use like, so the measurement is 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of salt.
Okay. And then black pepper.
And then black pepper.
So we also have here a couple of other things that are just kind of sitting here right now
Yes.
while we let this cook for a second. We have ghee,
Yes.
which you say that you use, but if you have a special kind of ghee that you use for your harira, right?
Yes, it's like Moroccan ghee. So basically Moroccan ghee, I don't quote me on this. It's like the butter, but it stays for like kind of preserved for at least a year. More goes by years, more flavory. So, but we have this ghee.
A bouillon cube too?
Yes.
And so this combination is kind of what you,
So
the flavor you're going for.
Yes, usually we don't use this because we add salt, pepper, and ginger and everything.
Right.
But this one has like a special taste of the ghee. That's why
Right.
American way
Got
we
it,
use
ghee
it.
flavor. And so also, I bought some Moroccan olive oil.
I'm proud of you. So for the olive oil, so my family, my aunt told me like you need to have like 1.5 of big like spoon,
Okay.
just like for people to know the measurements.
Yeah, 1.5 big spoon, you know.
Put 2. What comes next?
Tomato sauce.
Yeah, and lentil.
We're adding water to the tomato paste so it can become more of a sauce. And it will blend a little bit easier into the tomato and onion mixture. I'm gonna turn this heat down. Now we have some lentils, and you said that your family doesn't necessarily use lentils, but your aunt just told you
Yes.
to use a little bit.
Yes.
So she likes lentils. Chickpeas
Is the main.
is a must.
Yes. Lentil, it depends. I was like, maybe families, maybe part of Morocco. So because I had like few people, they said like we don't use lentil, but my family we use lentil and we use chickpeas.
Right.
And sometimes some people they like this kind of small. I'm not gonna go on spaghettis, but like the small
Vermicelli.
noodles. Yes, they add it too. So
That's a kind of harira that I have had, has always had the little
yes.
vermicelli in it as well.
But my family doesn't do it like this.
I did a whole cup here, but I think for this recipe it's too much. So we're just gonna add a couple of, so we just add a little of that. I'll cook this for myself later. And the other vegetable that we use is celery.
Yes. So before that, I would say like this is a Moroccan saying that we say. So I'm sure that you have it too. So your eyes, your measurement. So
Right.
we don't use like
We don't
really.
use measurements. But you guys go onto YouTube and Instagram and other places to get measurements,
Yes.
right? So we will give you measurements. We were talking earlier about celery.
Yes.
And this is not necessarily the kind of celery you use in Morocco.
Yes, we use the leaf more.
Right. But there's a celery there that is more leaf than this. And in America, they take out, now this actually has so much flavor.
Exactly.
And this is usually a little bit bitter,
Exactly. Yes,
right?
that's why.
So we're going to take this and cut it from here.
So, or we can do it my way.
Which
for
is?
this country, is just take the middle.
Ah,
See, it's smart. The middle is like here.
So we break this
Yes,
apart.
and you take the leaf from inside because
Look at that.
they forgot to take off this. Maybe we're gonna use this. It
Maybe
depends
not.
on, and also it depends on the flavor. If you want it like strong celery flavor, you can add more. Yes.
Right? Okay, so we add this once
So
the
we're
lentils
gonna
are
add
cooked.
this, and
And then we also have cilantro. And when does the cilantro get added?
the same time as the celery.
All right, so this is kind of like the ghee flavor that you were talking about,
Yes.
but since we don't have it in a jar,
Yes.
you have it in a bouillon cube.
Yes. And then the trick is do this.
I've seen him eat bouillon cubes.
Oh, I love it.
He just
I love
eats it.
tomato paste and this. That's my childhood memory. So
He doesn't seem like he has a lot to recover from his childhood.
I love it.
I mean, this looks like a lovely tomato sauce.
Yeah.
So this has been cooking now for exactly 15 minutes. The
Yeah.
lentils are just about cooked. They're not mushy, but they're
Yes.
definitely soft.
Yeah.
And so now what?
So
I
we-
have 2 eggs here that you asked me to get.
Yeah, so this is the final
The
step.
final step. So I'm just
So
going to
we're
put
not
them.
gonna crack them yet.
Okay.
So we're gonna add the water first.
Okay.
Let it cook like for a little bit. So until it's like the water blends with.
Do you want to add this water? That's the
Listen
tomato.
always.
And then add.
So we're gonna add the water, and the water is like it depends on your measurement. So if you want it like more soup, and you can add more water. You want it less.
Okay.
So
So this is about 3 cups of water. 2 cups right now that you added.
so it's still like kind of we need
Very
more.
thick.
Yes.
Okay, so we added about 4 cups of water.
You know what? Be generous.
Okay, so we'll add 4 cups of water.
Yeah. So now we lost the texture of the tomato, so it's like blended with water. Let it cook.
The cilantro.
The cilantro
Okay.
and the celery.
All right, so cilantro and celery.
So since this is your first time trying it like this, so you're gonna add the cilantro and celery and tell me like how much flavor you want it to add.
Okay, I think that the celery leaves have a ton of flavor and I really like it a lot. So I'm gonna add all of the celery leaves,
Then add it.
right? That way every single bite has some of that wonderful celery flavor. And I think for cilantro, I'm going to start with about half.
Yeah, because we have enough celery.
Right, because I think it's going to compete with the celery flavor. So we'll add half of the cilantro.
That's perfect.
And so we have 2 cans of chickpeas. You can also use dried, right? So I have here, we're doing a Ramadan prep video at the same time, and these are still soaking, so we're not going to use these. And then you could use it, and then you could cook this in a pressure cooker.
Yes.
Right? If you were using dried.
So if you
chickpeas.
want it like the fast way, you can do the pressure cooker. If you want it like the medium way, it's not gonna be like slow, but still you can just use the regular
Right.
pot.
Okay, you take one. Smells really good.
You're right. You know what's the next step?
Cover it
And then let it cook.
and go. We're going to make our flour and water mixture. Okay.
You know why?
To thicken the soup.
Yes. So for now it looks like water.
Yep, it's very thin.
And also
But it looks delicious, but also, yes, very thin.
Yes. So there is no exact measurement for this.
We'll give you an exact
If you
measurement.
want it like to be like really thick, be generous.
So this is a 1/4 cup of flour in here, and
Okay.
this is about 6 ounces of water. So I'm telling you the exact measurements. So he added about 2 ounces of water. And you just do that to make sure there's no clumps when you pour it into the soup. I know everyone says that, I know that when I started cooking, it was very difficult. Like you call your mama or your aunt on the phone and you say how much of whatever. And they try their best, right?
Yeah.
They give you their best estimate. But when you go and practice,
That's
it doesn't work, right? With actual cups or teaspoons or whatever else. They'll say yo kachora, right? 1 spoon. But they don't say, like, is it a teaspoon? Is it a tablespoon? Is it, like, what kind of spoon this is? So a lot of what I've had to do with our food anyway, because we don't use measurements, is just make a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
Right? So you make a lot of mistakes, you listen to people, and eventually we do give measurements because a lot of people in the diaspora, right, who didn't necessarily learn how to cook at home, they have a very hard time just grasping this idea of just measure with your heart.
So Morocco is the same.
Yeah.
So as Afghan. And then I learned this trick.
Yeah.
My mom and my aunt didn't tell me this, that the flour need like a minute to be thick. And I was like, pour in.
And just
I was
adding
like-
more and
I was
more
like,
and more.
Yes.
Yeah. So one thing that people I think really need to think about with flour too is that you cannot eat raw flour. So that's why in a lot of cuisines and a lot of cooking, you cook your flour first, and at this stage you would add cornstarch. This uses flour and water, which is also great, but it does take a little bit more cooking time to cook off that kind of raw flour taste, and which would be very bad for your stomach. It's completely vegan. We're going to add the eggs. It's still vegetarian. Some people add meat, right?
So yeah, it depends on the flavor, what kind of meat. So people, either you have like bones, if you want to add just like the flavor, but with the bones. But some people, they just add like a cube of meat, red meat.
Just a cube, just to add some flavor to the...
Add flavor and you can eat it.
Okay. We didn't add any meat. This is, like I said, it's a vegetarian dish. And I think it really is perfect for Ramadan because it has so many nutrients.
Yes.
It doesn't have a lot of spices, so not a lot of like heavy flavors in your body to shock it. And the eggs give you just a little bit of protein. Not much, but you have the protein from the chickpeas and the lentils too.
Yes. And one last thing,
Yeah.
please do not add chicken. It's not Moroccan at all. For
We're
us,
gonna
like,
use
we're gonna
two.
use 2.
Okay. Look at that! And so now you just stir it?
Yes.
Okay.
So in a professional way.
In a professional way. Okay, so now what do? We open this.
So we're gonna open this.
Okay. And I'll take that from you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so we're gonna just like pour it, but like not everything at
Okay,
once. We
okay.
just like pour it like this
Okay.
and then mix. And you're gonna see the,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the color
like-
change.
yep.
And then you pour it and mix. You see, it doesn't matter like to be an omelette or like that.
It doesn't have to be an omelet.
It's like, I'm fancy way.
A fancy way.
And voila.
That looks amazing. Oh my God.
Perfect.
You know what time it is?
To break the fast.
Let's break our fast.
What do you think?
Oh my God. It's so perfect because it's not so heavily spiced.
It's like perfect.
It's perfect. It's like when your mom gives you a hug and you're not a teenager. You know, like when you're a little kid or an adult, not teenagers, because you know how teenagers are.
It's easy to make it, but the secret is, you know what's the secret? The hands.
The hand. I was going to say the secret is having Ahmad come and cook it for you. If you like this video, what soup in your culture, if there is one, do you most connect with Ramadan? Something that your mom might have made, maybe it's chicken soup, I don't know. What else do you have to do? Oh, hit the bell notification so that you know every time we have a new video. And while you're here, you might as well subscribe. It's free, it doesn't hurt you, it helps me a great deal. So until next time, bye.